All right, guys, we're back again with the SinoArt. This is our 68-inch alleged Olympic bow. Anyways, so I decided to put on one of these type of little pad rest things on the main shelf. So we're basically shelf shooting today. This is a horizontal shelf, which apparently my archery guy says does happen, especially in these kind of bows. So I'm like, okay, well, that's a first for me, but anyways. So that's all we're using today, along with our, back to our T site and back to 10 yards. I'm gonna leave the camera here and you guys can just watch the shots fly in. I've decided to change over to 28-inch shaft to shaft cut 500 spine arrows. These are my Acmos Pure Carbons. And they weigh a little tiny bit more than my Predator 700s, and I did measure them today, and they're only 27.5-inch shaft to shaft, and they got a little teeny weeny short 85 grain tip. These are 100 grain, so they should perform actually a lot better, but they're definitely not going to be the disaster of 520 grain 500 spine 28.5-inch shaft to shafts, because that was very pathetic. So let's see what happens this time. Well, 3 for 3. 3 in the yellow and 3 somewhere else in another universe. All right, let's see if we can improve our score a little bit here. Now, if you guys have been keeping an eye out on this target at all on my channel that I picked up on Amazon, this is the 5-layer. It's actually doing quite well. As long as you have a backer on it, it's doing exceedingly well for shooting at. So I put a lot of rounds into this thing so far, so kudos there. Well, we're still getting used to this weird kind of a sight. Not used to using sights on a trad / Olympic bow in this case. It's a weird sight, but I do have another sight I want to try out on this bow for you guys too, and we'll get to that in another video. All right, I think where are we at for time wise here? Let's go another round. So, I think shooting with that biscuit, I got way better scores. Shooting off the shelf, let's just call it interesting, okay? It does have, of course, a little bit of kick, only because when you're looking at the arrow path coming off here, let me just lightly do this. So we're coming from here, past here. Now it does still have just a hairball of kick. I'm wondering if it's this pad that does a little bit of that, but it's really hard to say. Anyways, they're pretty common pads to have on every bow when you're shooting off the shelf with one of those animal hair type things. I don't know the technical term, I don't really care either, but it's just another experiment with the bow for shelf shooting, see what kind of system actually could optimally work the best. So far I'm really liking that 3-whisker system that we tried out yesterday that we reviewed. That did exceedingly well in my opinion compared to this. But hey, you know what? We're not done testing different rests. I still have another one I have to order in yet, and we still got to do the hook rest as well. I'm going to practice a bit more with this particular rest that's on here, and see if I can do even better with it. So you know, that's the thing. It's practice, and this is also a completely different bow that what I'm used to shooting in a recurve, because man, this sucker is like freaking tall, right? So like that's on the tip of my shoe. So yeah, it's pretty tall. But anyways, I think that overall though it does a good job. One thing I do find that even though the arrows are extremely forgiving because they're feathers, the weight actually is not bad for this bow as far as the weight and the spine goes. Normally 500 spine, you don't shoot at 26 or 28 pounds, but in this case, I'm thinking that this actually is not a bad idea for this bow. I think it's doing reasonably well at 10 yards, and I think it could go a little bit further, but 26 pounds does give us a limit no matter what. But they are flying very stable is one thing I am noticing compared to the 700s we tried out. So that is a big difference. And anyways, let's see, where are we at? 9, almost 10 minutes. Let me go get those 700s. Let's see what the 700s actually do. All right, let's try these 700 spined Predators. They're a little lighter, a little bit shorter, and see how they do shooting off the shelf. 10 yards. Well, for this shot, I definitely had to aim way over. So you guys will bear with me for one more round of these Predators. We'll see if we can figure out if that was just a fluke shot or what it was. But they are pretty light arrows. So all my shots were aimed basically over here, and we got 2 in the middle area, and yeah, the rest of them suck. The arrows I know are still spinning true and straight. I have one of those spinner machines, so I know there's nothing wrong with the arrows themselves. So it's just, I think they're a hair short, but I think they're more than anything, I think they're just way too light. But it's a tough call. I'm not sure. And these have less depth of feather, so less chance of, you know, kick at the riser. So I think that the best suited arrows are going to be 500 spine, but definitely keep them, you know, under 400 grain total, and with your tip, and they're going to shoot a lot better out of this bow. That's just my opinion, and that's at getting only 26 out of 28 pounds, because I am a 28-inch draw. If you're a 32-inch draw, you're going to get the 28 pounds out of this thing. But you know, which an extra 2 pounds can definitely improve things, that's for darn sure. So, but I think 500 spine is where we need to go. Full carbon, feathers obviously off the shelf, but these things still shot more accurately either way with that biscuit that we used, the little 3-brush biscuit. They definitely shot way better than shooting off the rest. So more experimenting, but I am really enjoying this bow. This is a really nice bow, and I'm getting pretty used to this sight now. It's getting a lot better, you know, for me to use it and stuff. And I'm definitely going to invest in a much higher quality one, because, you know, plastic is plastic. That's today's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. This would be pretty much the normal way you would set this bow up anyways, for shelf shooting, for sure. But I still want to try a plunger rest. I want to try a fork rest. I call it a fork rest anyways. And of course we still want to try the hook on here. There's got to be at least 2 that we can use that are going to be like the top best choices, at least with this bow, which could work with many other bows as well. So, you know, but shooting off the shelf, there's nothing wrong with it. But shooting off the shelf, you do get a bit of a kick that you either compensate for by aiming more this way, or of course a lot more adjustment here. I probably could have dialed it more in from here had I moved it more, and we got lots of space for that, but it's the up and down that doesn't seem to be very consistent. Well, it's definitely consistent of high, low, but it's not consistently getting us in that area where we need to be with these arrows at least. A little bit better consistency with the 500s. So it's going to take some tweaking for sure, figure it all out, but I think the best consistency is going to be having the best rest to get the best height that's going to stay stable all the time. And so far that biscuit is actually doing a really good job. So check out that video if you get a chance. Till then, see ya on the next one.